Hello, hello, hello there, everyone. It's Patricia Hayes here in time for Coffee Time Career Chat. How are you guys doing? Grabbing a pen here. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. We're going to jump right in just a second as we close out our series on making empowered moves. That's what we've been talking about this month. So let me see. Here we go. Let's get you shared over. I'm going to share. Here we go. Share to a group. All right, there we go. How are you doing today? Super excited about the new week, bringing 1 month to a close and about to start a new one. Man, can y'all believe it? Can you believe it is the end of April? Wow. So super excited about all of that. And a few things housekeeping things as we get ready to jump into today's topic. Number one, to remember that we have started a new quarter. Hello, we're like a third of the way through, right? A new quarter, so there's still time to get on the calendar for intensives, for one-on-one intensives. So if that's something you're interested in, or want to consider, or you need to revisit because some things have happened, get on the calendar. Let's set up some time and make that happen. And because remember, I only do a certain number of those per quarter. The other thing is I'm super excited that with the new month, we will be kicking off the consistency challenge. Now, I know I've been promising this, and it's like, get off the duff, but it's been one thing after another. So we're going to do it one way or the other here. I'm super excited because I have a new journal that I want to be able to share with you all. And I'm finally going to be able to, my lovely, lovely designer has been working hard on finalizing, my numerous edits. And so I'm super excited about sharing it with you so that we can go through this 30 days of providing a challenge where you can work on being consistent in your life with whatever area it is, right? And so we'll talk more about that as the week goes on, but there's going to be a link that's going to get dropped where you can sign up. Now, you don't have to sign up to participate, but if you want the journal, you have to sign up. So there's that. So if you want the journal, you'll have to sign up to participate in the 30-day consistency challenge. And I'm so looking forward to it. And I'll be doing little check-ins every day off of this business page, okay? So just, keep an eye out for that, and can't wait to have you join me on that. All right, there we go. That's out of the way. Here we are, last week of the month, and our theme has been making empowered moves. And so we've been talking about all of the things that we need to be concerned with or consider when we are trying to move to the next level of our business, of our careers, whatever may be, right? Or we're trying to up level so that we can be situated to be considered for that next big project. It doesn't matter whatever it is. What does matter is that there are things that have to happen if you are going to get there. One of them we talked about, you got to have a mindset shift. Like you have got to shift how you think and approach things. And it takes you out of your comfort zone for sure. Okay. We've talked about the relationships that you have to build and how you have to shift how you approach them. The people to making sure that you have the right people in your network and that you are looking for the right people to be affiliated with, okay, in order to get to that next level. And then lastly, last time we talked about being empowered to dream and the importance of putting your dreams to the test and thinking about them in ways that will actualize them, right? So because everything, oh my gosh, I just saw something the other day where I think it was TD Jakes that was talking about that everything starts with a thought, right? And you have to have that thought. You have to have that dream. But it's when you put it out into the world and then take some action on it, that is what gets you to that next level. But some people don't feel like their dreams are worthy or that they can. And you have to knock all of that off. And you have to look at the things that you need to do in order to power your dreams so that you can achieve your goals. We talked about that the last time. And today we are talking about normalizing your leadership authority. So, of course, the first question is like, wow, what does it mean to normalize your leadership authority? And what I want you to think about as we level set this conversation is that when you are about to, or in the process of up leveling, of getting to that next level, there are some things that you do because you've just kind of done them off and on, out of habit and, whatever, versus those things that you have done consistently and intentionally to achieve a certain goal. Okay. And so that is why I'm talking about this from the context of normalizing your leadership authority. You may have taken the lead or been considered a leader in certain environments, in certain situations. But now I'm talking about what is it that you need to do in order for that to be affiliated with you, for you to be thought of in that capacity on the regular. Right? That it's just like, oh yeah, Patricia's great. She's a great leader in X, Y, and Z. She really shows up. She's a thought leader in this area. All of that. Not just, oh yeah, she had a great idea that time. Okay? So we're talking about normalizing that so that you are considered a leader in your field, in your business, whatever that may be, so that it's that all the time when people think about you. Okay? So the first things first is you must recognize the leader in you. Okay? What is a leader? We've talked about this, but let's go back to how we have been defining leader and leadership. And a leader is one who has the ability or has learned the ability and the skill to inspire and motivate and guide people along a certain path to achieve a certain goal. Okay? And when they do that, sometimes it's a push and a pull. Sometimes it's a big push, right? And a leader helps to guide people into directions and into ways that they may not think that they're ready for themselves. Okay? So when it comes to you normalizing your leadership authority and up leveling so that you can make that next great move, you have to first make sure that you are recognizing the leader in yourself. And the first step, or one of the steps to remembering that, is remember that leadership is not based on a title. Y'all know how I feel about that. Leadership is not based on a title. That is positional leadership. I'm not talking about positional leadership. I'm talking about the leadership that can be exuded from your administrative assistant to the volunteer in the organization, and yes, to someone who's got CEO in front of their name, behind their name, that has whatever other, letters and titles. But it's about how you act, how you treat people, and how you respond to situations, and that you're helping to guide people to get to where they need to be. Sometimes doing it from behind, you're not out front, right? You don't have the one with the title, but you're still making things happen. And so this part of when you're trying to recognize the leader in you or to do it more consistently, this is about taking that time to sit down and to look at those situations where you have been, not just where you have been recognized as a leader, because that's from the outside, right? But where you've shown leadership that others may not have been aware of, where you have been supportive to other people, where you have worked with people behind the scenes to help them to achieve a goal, right? So for example, one of the things that I may just kind of blow off, I know I do, and that I have to be more consistent about, is I take a lot of advisory calls from colleagues, not necessarily people who are trying to be clients, but from colleagues who are like, hey, I'm trying to get to this next thing. I wanted to run it past you. What do you think about this? Right? Or I'm having this issue. I mean, I literally just took one of those calls this weekend with a young business person who is getting a fabulous opportunity, but they're like, wait, how do I set this up? What am I going to be doing? I need to talk to someone who's done this before. And I think that's Patricia, right? So where are you showing leadership, both in ways that are seen and not seen? And this is how you start to recognize the leader in yourself. Okay? Because how you see yourself is also how you will start to project yourself to others out in the community, others out in the workplace. Okay? So you have to be able to recognize yourself as a leader first. That's the key. You have to be able to recognize yourself first. All right? And when you do that, then that will lay the foundation for recognizing additional opportunities that come forth where you can be of service to people, where you can step in and provide some leadership, provide some guidance, be respected for your expertise and those types of things, but you have to start with you. You have to start with recognizing it for yourself. Y'all know how I am, so I'm always saying, get your handy dandy journal, whatever it might be, write it down in one place, not just so number one, so you can get it out of your head, right? Because sometimes we don't always formulate things completely in our heads, but also so that you can use it as a reference to come back to when you're doubting yourself, because it will happen, or when you're like, what were my thoughts on that? Like, there were, and it's a great place to be able to collect additional thoughts, additional things that will come to you that you have forgotten about, okay? Because this will be important to not just recognizing the leader in yourself, but also recognizing the leader in yourself and in what way, right? What market, what area, is it with helping and guiding people to get to a certain decision? Is it with executive presence and, things like that, helping people to be prepared in a better way in that way? Or is it, specific to your market, specific to your level of expertise? Okay. You want to start to document that, track that, keep up with it, because this is how you then start to stand more confidently, which is point number 2. You want to stand more confidently as a leader. And what that means is that you don't want to shy away from new opportunities. Okay? Sometimes we have to do things in new ways, with new people, and we have to do it even though we're like scared. That's very common. We're scared or we're maybe unsure, but that doesn't mean that you can't still have confidence in who you are. That's why it's important to recognize yourself as a leader first, and what areas and what things, right? Taking the compilation of what you discover about yourself and what others have told you, or that you've heard from others, and so that you can be more confident in that. Okay, I know there are a couple of spaces that I was like, oh no, that's not really something that I'm an expert in or whatever. But they're like, I had someone say to me once, they're like, you're joking, right? I was like, but you're really involved in this area. And they reminded me of things that I've forgotten I've done. I just did it, or I'm a part of it. And I involve myself in it because I care about the issues, but I hadn't begun to think of myself as a thought leader in that area. Okay, so it's really important to shift that thoughts and that mindset, recognize yourself, so that you can stand more confidently, so that you can then pursue new opportunities for leadership where you can share with others and you can build that leadership muscle. Okay. And that's really where we want to get you to. So you want to make sure you recognize the leader in you, that you're standing more confidently as a leader, which means don't shy away from the opportunities that present themselves. Yes, you can be discerning and say, that doesn't seem like that's a fit, but not just across the board, eliminating things. Okay. Number three is a very close relative of number two. And so number three is you want to walk boldly daily as a leader. What does that mean? Well, that means not just recognizing who you are, standing more confidently, but now we're talking about stepping forth, right? Your standing is one thing, but taking action and movement in the space as a leader, man, that's a whole other thing. That is a power move. When you can start to move in the space where you want to be recognized as a leader, or where you want to show yourself as a leader. It doesn't necessarily have to be about being recognized, but where you know that you can contribute, and you do it boldly and on a regular basis. This means that you're not just not shying away from new opportunities. This is up-leveling to you're not shying away from challenging opportunities, from challenging moments. This is when you step into that. This is when you step forward to say, you know what? I think I can help with that. And other people are like, oh my God, is she crazy? Because that happens, right? There will be someone who will be like, are you sure about that? Okay. So that's that thing. You have to make sure that you're working on your confidence, that you're standing confidently, that you are offering yourself, that you're putting yourself in the position to be recognized or to be acknowledged. I really want to say that because it's not just about recognition, but to be acknowledged as a leader in your field, in your area, in your community, whatever it might be. But then also to follow up the next step, which is to take bold action. That means rising to difficult challenges. It means dealing with challenging situations. It may mean doing some things that people are not gonna like. Man, right? That's some tough stuff right there. But when you rise to those challenges and you do the thing that other people won't do because they're too scared, they don't have the skill set, whatever it is, guess what? Afterwards, it may be rough getting through it, but afterwards, I'm telling you, the level of respect, the level of acknowledgement will shift because people will see you in a new light. And they'll be like, wow, okay, I didn't know that she had that in her. It really can be that powerful. Okay? So let's see if let's take a quick break, get some coffee. My mug. I found my mug, y'all, from one of my favorite neighborhood bistros. I love Cafe Java here in Round Rock and in Austin. So if you're in the area, go check them out. All right. So let's see. Any questions? So let's see if we've got, it's kind of hard to see sometimes. All right. I don't think I see any questions out there. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. We've talked about normalizing your leadership authority so that you can make those empowered moves in your career, in your business, in your life. I mean, because it does end up affecting you in that way. And it will help you to get to that next level from two ways. Number one, because you will start to see yourself differently. And that is super powerful, okay? When you start recognizing from within your ability to lead, your ability to guide, your ability to have a positive impact, it's just mind-boggling. It totally shifts your thought processes, how you approach situations. Super powerful. That's from internal. From external, again, you will get the opportunities where people say, oh my goodness, I don't know if this is something she's interested in, but she stepped up to the plate once before on this issue or on an issue like this. Let's see if she's interested in doing this today. Okay? And that is how you use leadership authority to make empowered moves. When you stand strong, when you put yourself out there, because that's really what you're doing. You're putting yourself out there to do some things, to be acknowledged for some expertise, for how you handle situations, how you can guide people in different things. Then others get sent to you so it can affect your business in a positive way, or new opportunities come your way to help you to up level, to grow. That's really what we're talking about. When you're talking about making empowered moves, it's not just about, making that quote next dollar or getting that next promotion. It's also about how you grow as a person, as a professional, as a business leader. And so that's what we want to help you do. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining today. If you missed the rest of this month's series, go check it out. It is here on the Facebook page. But if you don't want to weed through tons and tons of video, you can go straight to the YouTube channel where all of the Coffee Time career chats for this year have been loaded up, and we're going to be doing some things with those. So catch them while you can. If you have a problem, let me know. And if you or someone is looking to, make some changes in your careers, in your business, and you need another mind, another brain behind the scenes to help you to make those decisions, please reach out. Please send them my way. I'm super happy to have a chat to figure out how we can work together. Don't forget to sign up for the for the 30-day consistency challenge that's going to start in May. It's going to start on May 2nd. So we're going to use May 1st as a lead-in day, and May 2nd we start. All right? Take care, everyone, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye-bye.